This week I'm going to show you how to make a balloon dragon. I'm using 160s in green. You may want to choose a different colour. So take your 160, and I like to inflate my 160s with the hand pump rather than the pocket pump. That is provided the 160s still have the bead on the nozzle. If you've cut that off, then it is very tricky to get onto the hand pump. And then inflate to about 4 fingers of tail. Firstly, make two 2-finger bubbles. Okay, and then bring them together, get hold of your nozzle and twist. Okay, and then take that nozzle and bring that through the centre of those 2 bubbles, and that will just pinch twist those 2 bubbles. Then make a bubble that is about 2.5 fingers or so, okay? And then wrap that through the centre of those pinch twists. Okay, so we've got the 2 nostrils and the lower lip for our dragon. With the rest of this balloon, we're going to make the bridge of the dragon's nose. Okay, so make a small bubble of perhaps about 1 to 1.5 fingers and pinch twist that. Okay, and that's just going to sit on top of those nostrils. Then make a small bubble of perhaps about 1 finger to 1.5 fingers. Make another small bubble of 1 finger, pinch twist that. Make another small bubble of 1 finger and pinch twist that. Okay. Position everything. So that's what you've got so far. So this part here is intended to be quite bumpy. We're trying to recreate the sort of spikes and bumps up a dragon's the bridge of his nose. And then make a bubble of about 3 fingers, followed by another 3-finger bubble and a bubble of about 4 fingers. Okay, so we want to twist those together, and that is the first ear. Okay, give your balloon a squeeze, make another 3-finger bubble and then another 4-finger bubble. Okay, and twist all those together. Okay, so that's what you've got at the moment. And we want these smaller bubbles pointing inwards and the slightly larger bubbles on the outer side. Take another 160 and inflate that again to about 4 fingers or so. And with these 160s, when you're using them with the hand pump, just make sure that you sort of whittle it at this point and make sure that it is positioned directly above the hand pump, that it's not folded over at all, otherwise you will find it difficult to inflate. But I like to use the hand pump because with the 160s, because I tend to find you get, using the pocket pump, you kind of get bands across it, and I just find that the hand pump, you can inflate it more smoothly. It takes a couple of seconds longer to actually get the nozzle onto the hand pump, but I think you save time inflating, and I think you get a nicer, smoother finish. So take your nozzle and wrap that into this junction here with the ears. Okay, give your balloon a squeeze, and you want to bring this along here, and we want to twist off a bubble that's about 4 fingers, and then bring this across the front of the jaw and just pull that in between the lower lip and the nostrils. Okay, and then another 4-finger bubble, and bring that back up and just wrap that into the junction with the ears. Okay, I'm going to show you in a second what we've got. Okay, so there you go. That's what we've got so far. Lower lip, nostrils, and then bridge of the dragon's nose. Next, take another 160. I'm using purple this time. And again, using the hand pump to inflate the 160 to about 4 fingers of tail. Take your nozzle and wrap that into the ear junction. And you want to give your balloon a squeeze. It needs to be nice and soft, and you want a bubble of about 3 fingers or so. And we want to stretch that down here into the join of the lower lip and the nostrils. I keep saying nozzles instead of nostrils. I'm obsessed with nozzles. Give your balloon a squeeze, and again make a 3-finger bubble. It's a little bit large. Needs to be in proportion to the one on the other side, and then pull that back into the junction with the ears. So at this point you've got the option of making a couple of small pinch twists out of the green balloons, and whether you want to do this will depend on how you want to use your dragon sculpture. If you want the head positioned at a very specific angle, then I would recommend that you use the pinch twists. I want my sculpture to have quite a bit of articulation both in the head and the body section, so I'm not going to put the pinch twists in, but it's a choice that you have. Okay, so take all 3 160s and you want to twist them all together, bubbles of about 3 to 4 fingers. Okay, and at this point you need to plait these balloons as though you were plaiting a hair braid, so which I've never had to do with my own hair. So take the right balloon and move it to the middle, take the left balloon and move it to the middle, take the right balloon and move it to the middle. And that's what you're doing throughout. Left balloon to the middle, right balloon to the middle, left balloon to the middle, right balloon to the middle, left balloon to the middle, right balloon to the middle, left balloon to the middle, right balloon to the middle, left balloon to the middle. Okay, and you do want to plait quite a bit, because if you don't, these segments will unravel. So you need that crossover of the twists. You need them crossing over, and it's that crossover and the friction that will keep these balloons from unraveling, and that's why you need to do it quite a few times. So we'll do that. We'll create a few more body segments. Okay, I'm going to leave this balloon as it is. I'm going to twist off another balloon bubble to match, and then I'm going to break the rest off and tie. So we've got 2 little feet sticking out, and the rest is his tail. And I'm just going to shape his tail a little bit to give it a bit of a curve. So that's what we've got so far. So take another 160 in purple and inflate to about a 1-finger tip. Let a little bit of air out. Twist at this point just to trap the air. Take hold of your tip and just tie the ends together. Trim off the nozzle and split the balloon in half. Just pinch it here and give that a twist. Okay, and then bring the 2 joins together and pass them through one another just to help hold them in position. Okay, now it's entirely up to you whereabouts you place the wings on your dragon's body. I'm going to go for this second segment here. I'm just going to wrap them in there. And then I'm going to take the wing, fold it in half, and I'm going to pinch off a section here that is just a little bit lower, below the halfway point. So you've got the top of one wing that is slightly bigger than the other part. Okay, and then I'm going to pinch off another section here of about 4 fingers and twist off, and make sure that you twist in the same direction as you twisted this section here. And then at this point I want to twist off another bubble, and this bubble is going to be about 4 inches or so. And again, make sure that you twist in the same direction. So now we just need to position our wings. Okay, and we've got some finishing touches to add to our fire or ice breathing dragon. So for our fire breathing dragon, I'm going to use 2 1/60s, one orange and one red. I'm going to inflate the two using my hand pump, and without tying off, I am going to tie the ends together. So I just want to inflate this so that you've got perhaps 2 to 3 fingers of tail at the end. So give a twist here and then inflate your next one. So take the 2 necks of your 1/60s and tie them together, and then trim off the ends. Okay, give them both a squeeze. Take your dragon and just take this point here and just pull that in underneath the dragon's lower lip, and then wrap it over a couple of times. Okay, now you can do the fire different ways. You can sort of kind of have a loose spew. There's nothing really wrong with the fire coming out this way if you want it spurting in different directions. Some of it may depend upon the amount of time that you've got, so you could put, you know, some yellow in here as well maybe, and have the fire going in different directions. Or you can do a candy cane. Just insert your hand at this point, spiral everything around, twist off at whatever length you want, and then just do a couple of loops to finish off the candy cane neatly. I think we saw in Game of Thrones, I think we saw the dragons, you know, sort of spraying fire and spewing fire onto the ground. So this could be the point at which the fire hits the ground and starts to splay out a little bit. All you need to do is switch the colours around a little bit if you want to make the White Walker dragon. You use whites and pale blues, and I think that would give a really good effect. So I'm looking forward to seeing your fire and ice dragons over the next couple of weeks or so. So I've just done 4 loops at the end. It doesn't really matter how many you do, it's entirely up to you. So as I said here, we've got the head that is bobbing around, and that's exactly what I wanted. I wanted to try and recreate that position of the dragons when they're sort of suspended in the air, or they're flying in the air, that moment of suspension, and their bodies are hanging down. They're in flight, but their bodies are hanging down, and they're starting to, you know, spray their fire and wreak havoc. So there we have our fire breathing dragon.